I always love it when a user sends in a lock, particularly what I think is a really old, unique lock, and asks me to open it because they either lost a key or never had a key. And that's the case here. Ricky sent this in. This is, I believe it's the model name, or the name of the lock would be a gem. Really old. Corbin Cabinet Lock Company. Got the New Britain, Connecticut. And on the bottom, I think you can make out that patent date. I believe that says 1886. Now, I'm not suggesting this lock is that old, but it's a pretty old lock, I've got to say. That's the original patent date. Brass body. I just love this logo on the front. And then the shackle looks like it's made out of copper. It is not steel, not rusted. It might be brass that's miscolored. I really can't tell. But I can tell there is some goop growing on it right there. But it is still springy, so I think we're going to be able to get into this guy. All right, Ricky, I'm not going to make a key. When you look at these old locks, right away you can see a wide open keyway, and there's no reason to shoot WD-40 in there. It's really not going to help you. The only thing in there are a bunch of wards that prevent you from twisting a wide-bladed key, and then the actuator is always right up there in the top. In order to beat this kind of lock, you guys have seen these before, all you need is a set of warded lock bypass keys. Very inexpensive. They're made out of stainless steel. Pretty tough stuff. What I like to do is I find one that will fit into the keyway, and I find that this one, the single cross and the double cross generally work the best. This guy I've never had a lot of luck with. So I try to find the single one the largest single cross wing that will fit in the keyway, and the large one does not fit, so we can rule all three of those out. It's down to these two. Use the single, just slide him in there, get him past the warding. Feels like I'm right on the warding here. And there we go. That's how easy it is, Ricky, to get inside of this little gem. No key required. These are they're antiques. They're totally obsolete. Do not use these for any kind of security. All right. Ricky did tell me he's got 3 more of these. He got them off of eBay as a batch. So this would not be a real historically significant. He asked me to open it up. And I think I'm going to do that. I'm not going to machine off the front because I kind of think that logo is pretty cool. Instead, I'm going to go on the back and I'm going to machine this off. And that way we can get an idea of what's inside and what's preventing us from using just any key. And I'll show you how this warded lock bypass tool works by reaching up inside the actuator once this top is gone. So let me chop it off and let's take a look. All right, guys, this little lock was a lot simpler than I thought. There were no actuators or anything. Very simple mechanism. So although we ruined the old lock, at least we got a chance to learn something new. All right. There were 3 nibs holding the body on. As soon as I machined through those nibs, the top cover just popped right off. And then left me kind of with what you see right here. A little spring on the bottom presses against the bottom of the lock to push upwards on the shackle. I'm going to take that off right now just to get it out of the way. As I said, there are no actuators inside of this lock. There's just one piece of warding that you have to get your key through, and it fits up into the body of the lock right there, and then there's a guide on the tip. So when we slide our key in there, it engages in the end of it to keep it aligned, and then when we turn it, this is where the interesting part happens. When we turn it, it expands that spring. Now let's take a little close look at that guy. I'm just going to take this little clip off of the end. He is just press fit on there. Set him aside, turn the whole shackle and pull it out. There's a piece of spring steel that's in kind of a half loop here that pinches down onto the shackle, and it fits inside of 2 cutout flats on the shackle. Just pinches in there. So when you try to pull the shackle, you can't because that stops it. What we need to do is spread that, open the mouth, and then you can slide the shackle out. So let's try that. So let's slide him back in there. We're going to take our key. We're going to slide him in, get him engaged in the end for guidance, and then we're going to turn it. Now watch this. When I turn it, it expands, and then our shackle will then, provided I can keep him balanced here, will then open up. And there we go. In fact, it'll come all the way out because I took that clip off. All we're doing is spreading apart that spring. So simple. No springs or locking pawls or anything like that. Way back in, well, around 1886, this is what they came up with, and it was effective all the way up until today. Isn't that something? Anyway, guys, appreciate your time. Stay safe, stay legal, and I'm going to make something out of that. Very cool. Thanks, guys.